Welcome to Star Wars and Scotch.
Welcome to Star Wars and Scotch, the soft open for episode 112. Tim is back from Memphis, Tennessee, Build Against Cancer. Amazing, successful. Wow. Congratulations, Tim. You guys absolutely slayed it. How was the experience?
It was awesome. Like we've been to St. Jude before. Like we'd done like the hospital tour and whatnot. But this one was really special because it was not only did we get to go to like a new research facility, the I4 building, Inspiration 4 building, which is advanced medical research, which was really, really cool. I have a science background. I have a degree in biology. And so like for me to go in like these research labs and like talk to like these researchers was like really, really cool. So Lupo and I are just like freaking out when we get to see this like lattice microscope. It's like lasers that are used to scan cells. And like Ben and I are just like freaking out. It was so cool. But like also to like be in the ALSAC building and to be on campus and to like be there like at the hospital for like we were there for like a day and a half because like we were there Friday. We did a bunch of like pictures and like we did our tour and stuff, and then we came back on Saturday and we did the full 24 hours. And to like be on campus and to be at St. Jude, you just feel it. You feel that energy. Like it's something that's really hard to explain, but if you've been there, you understand like what it is. There's a special energy there because it's a really happy place. Like it was all decorated for Christmas, and so they have this beautiful decor everywhere, and it's just that is just a really, really cool place to be. And it was awesome. We got to see like a bunch of stuff that's new. They had like redone like the whole like that rotunda. So there's like pictures like Lupo, things from just all the different like celebrities and just events that benefit St. Jude. So it was really cool as well. But yeah, $1,024,000+ in 24 hours. So it was pretty cool.
I was Universal with the family, so I only got to pop in from time to time just to check and see. But it was funny to see how dynamic it was. Like every time I went in, you were all doing something completely different.
Yeah. They the BAC format was really fun. Like we were talking about it before we went live. It was it just felt like a TV show. Like we did like this open segment. We're talking with everybody. And then we played a little bit of Minecraft, and then we did dinner. We did like the hot wings take. So like every time there was like X amount of dollars donated, we like increased the intensity of the sauce, which was kind of like anticlimactic because we were just all like, these are really good. These are really good. The only one that we didn't like, the only one that like collectively the group did not like was the last one called Ring of Fire. That one was just like uncomfortable. It was like there was no taste to it. It was just like, ow.
It was just pain.
Yeah, but I think the place was called like New Wing Order. Yeah, New Wing Order in Memphis, Tennessee. And so they sent us like a bunch of wings and stuff, which was pretty cool. And then Uno. You ever done like speedrun Uno before, Kevin, with oven mitts on? Oh my God.
Those were unicorn oven mitts.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, it was like silicone oven mitt things from hell. Then I had to put a lion mask on at one point. I got bean boozled. I got bean boozled. The only bad one I got was boogers.
Can I compliment you on the lion mask for a second? I turned it on. I was on my phone, so I was on a tiny screen. I think we're eating dinner, and Danielle like leans over. She goes, "Oh, is that Tim?" And I'm like, "I think so. Those look like his shoulders." So,
thanks.
Bravo.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So no, it was awesome to watch when I had the chance. We got to throw in 7K from the GCX community from the subs and everything that they did on Twitch. So it was just really cool to see. Again, I love the platform agnostic fundraising. It should be about St. Jude. It should not be about where you're fundraising. So yeah, that was fantastic and terrific. So congratulations to Tim, Lupo, the rest of the crew, and on a very successful Build Against Cancer.
Yeah.
Which always to me means, okay, GCX time. That's Build Against Cancer is like you get a Christmas break and then we're off.
Yeah, that's what Sam was talking about. She's like, well, time to start planning GCX.
Yeah, we're going to touch base with all of them in January after the holidays. So just so you're aware, Tim and I are off next week, but there is an episode. It is the Andor Roundtable hosted by Tim, Star Wars Explained, Lauren from Most Things Kenobi, and who's Chase, that gay Jedi, are the three guests. They're going to be talking about Andor in detail. I actually saw the first cut and the second. I'm seeing the second cut today of it. So it's coming out good. Nick is doing a good job editing it.
Sick.
And what else? King's Coast Coffee. I mean, at this point, if you didn't order it for a gift, you're not getting it on time unless you live in the New York area, you can head on over to the cafe. They got plenty of stuff there stocked and ready to go. So if you need a last minute gift and you're in the New York area, head over to the cafe. If you need a gift for someone you're not seeing until New Year's, you have time. kingscoastcoffee.com. But thank you. We had a very successful holiday season. I believe we're running the final numbers, but I think we sold, not including cocoa and all the other stuff we sell, I believe we sold more coffee by poundage than we've ever sold before during the holiday season. So thank you so much. We're going to confirm that in January, but we were running some preliminary numbers the other day, and we were like, man, we sold a shitload of coffee.
Thanks for supporting small businesses like ours.
Thank you very, very, very much. And last but not least, this hoodie that kept me warm all weekend at Universal Studios was made by the fine folks at Lab 77. It kept me very warm, Tim.
I wore that in Memphis, and I was really, really happy with it because it was windy. I was just like, this is great.
It was like, I didn't want to wear a jacket, and I still wanted to be comfortable, and I was in sweatpants the whole time because I was chilling. And
I saw that you had a meeting with Universal people in sweatpants.
I was at the park with my family for the day. They asked if I wanted the tour while I was there. Esports. We're in esports, Tim. Come on. We're those guys.
I hate it. These guys are wearing blazers and Kevin's in sweats.
Because they're at work. I'm out with the family. Although it is a tax write-off now, so thank you. I can write off the whole trip. I had 2 meetings. I had that one, and I went to Night of a Million Lights for Give Kids the World too.
Oh yeah.
So I did that Friday night. That was at Margaritaville. H2O Island Fun, which is their Margaritaville's water park. So I did a little bit of work over the weekend. But yeah, the Universal meeting was great. You'll find out more about that in the new year, folks. Cool. Yeah, Lab 77. What's the website, Tim? Lab77.com. CO. I wanted to make sure. That's what I thought it was. CO. Lab77.co. Man, I almost think, there'll probably be drops before that, but April, like around the 29th-ish, is probably a time that you should be paying
it's going to be sick
to what's happening at Lab 77. I'm just saying, April 29th, 429, I think that 429. Yeah, that's the date. Just making sure. Lab77.co.
It's like 7 minutes of ads. Holy shit.
The internet is freaking out over 2 seconds of seeing Ahsoka.
Like in a bad way or a good way?
No, everyone's so excited for this show, and it's in the Disney Plus. It's basically a glimpse of what's coming in 2023, and Ahsoka has a clip for literally 2 seconds.
Okay. It's just a picture of Rosario Dawson in character. I don't get it. I saw that picture.
Yeah. I think it's excitement, and I'm cool with the excitement. I would prefer that over, the vitriol and hate. So I'm cool with it. It's just funny to me that everyone's freaking out, and it's not like the first time we're seeing.
Yeah, that's why I'm really confused. Like, why are people like having this like overjoyed?
Whatever, man.
I don't get it. Whatever. Cool. Sick.
So yeah, the internet was I thought it was like a full trailer at first yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
this is great.
I would understand excitement for.
That'll probably drop after we're done recording today, because that's just what happens with our show.
You know what'll happen? It's gonna be the trailer that they showed at Celebration, just cleaned up. I guarantee it.
That's what they did with Mandalorian.
You've already seen it.
Yeah, that's what they did with Mandalorian. So
Mandalorian, they changed a couple scenes, and I think there was clean. It was definitely cleaned up. I think there was like a gray box in one part.
So yeah, we still know Ahsoka's coming. I don't really know. It's newsworthy. It's trending. It's big, but there's not much Tim and I can talk about on that level, because it's just like 2 seconds of Ahsoka. Now, I did read that they're casting someone else for Clone Wars era Ahsoka for flashbacks.
I mean, that would make sense.
So I'm
glad they're not gonna like CGI her, like try to make like a young Rosario Dawson work for teenage Ahsoka. That's good. I like that.
Who the actress is? It was named yesterday. House of the Dragon star Savannah Stein. She played one of the.
She was one of the Valerian daughters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Savannah Stein.
She was the older one.
In the picture, I think she's the one who marries Doctor Who. What's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Damon.
Yeah.
I think she's the one who marries Damon, who gets.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Brutally.
It's been months.
brutally burnt alive by her own dragon.
Well, yeah, but that was the adult version, but the younger version will be Ahsoka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was rough. They didn't pull back from that show at all, and that was
Yeah, she was just on fire. It was a cookout. So well, it does lead. I'm going to skip around our topics here. It does lead us into Disney late last night releasing the full 2023 Star Wars roadmap, if you will, for Disney Plus, not anything else. So this doesn't include gaming or anything like that. As you know, like I said, we have a week off. Andor Roundtable comes out the next week. We were going to take off again and have 2 weeks off, but Bad Batch drops on the 4th. So Tim and I cannot take off on the 4th. So we were going to enjoy 2 weeks off, but Bad Batch drops on the 4th. So that is 16 episodes long of the Bad Batch. So that will take us right into Mandalorian, if my math is correct, which usually it isn't. I think they actually overlap a little bit.
I really enjoyed Bad Batch. I'm really happy that it's back. I want to know what happens to Omega.
Well, in the trailer, did you watch the trailer? Because it was they dropped last week.
No, I totally forgot to because I was busy with other stuff.
There is a trailer, so watch the trailer.
So what happens with Omega?
Omega's like part of the crew now. She's got a new like gear and everything.
And shit.
Yeah.
Sick.
The biggest takeaway from the trailer, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it when you watch it, is the clones are questioning Order 66.
Oh, what? Can I just like watch it right now?
Yeah, go for it. So I'll explain it to you. There's a scene in there, you're going to see it, where Crosshair is talking to one of the clones and basically says, well, they're not loyal or something along those lines. You'll have the line there.
Right,
and
okay. Hey, Paul, I'm going to start it right now.
Live Tim's reaction of the Bad Batch trailer.
This is Johnny Depp. This is like Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's definitely Scarif, right?
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Scarif, yeah. Oh, she's got armor. That's awesome.
Told you, she's like awesome now.
Looks like a little rebel.
So, this is the top team. The rogue clones on the run from the Empire, huh? Hello. How juicy.
Her name's
The
Fee.
Empire's growing stronger. We should be doing.
That's Wanda Sykes.
Oh, that's why she sounded familiar. Wait, that's a it's a long neck from
Yep.
Rumors are more and more clones have been questioning the order.
Oh, the clones are defecting. That's why the clone program didn't keep going. Oh, I like how they're writing them off like that. That's smart.
They're maintaining their integrity.
Yeah, that's why the TK program takes over. Interesting.
What sort of treachery is this?
Stay back.
We are not
The little Wookiee Jedi's alive.
seeks to establish peace and order throughout the galaxy.
Peace. Peace was never an option.
Gungi is his name.
We do what needs to be done.
You know what makes us different? We make our own choices. What do you need, Rex? Any chance I could use you for a mission?
Parents, The Bad Batch, new season, streaming January 4th.
Ooh, that was awesome. I like the Rex at the end. That's good. That's really, really good.
So yeah, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it's the Bad Batch. Like, it's really heavy in the action. I'm excited for it.
I think the pivot with the clones is interesting.
Yeah, that's really smart. Like, so I mean, that explains why we don't see more clones
Yep.
later on and why the TK program comes in. I wonder if the Kaminoans built some failsafe in, or if like that the chip, like the organic chip, like it has like a half-life of some sort, or, you know, starts to degrade over time. That's really interesting.
So with that too, with I almost think even if it's not something built into them, Tim, it's more something that they're trying to show you that they're more human than we give them credit for, and
Oh,
that they
sure,
do
like
have
there's more
feelings,
in-
emotions, all that stuff.
Yeah, they're not just these robots. Yeah. Huh.
So,
I like
yeah,
it.
it's an interesting.
Hopefully, we'll also
situation.
find out about the other cloning facility that we see at the end of season 1 in the mountain.
I can't remember the name of it, but yes.
But you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully, we'll learn more about that. And then also, I want to know what happens to the Kaminoans when they
it got destroyed.
Well, okay, that base did, but they all like evacuated. They got out.
Yes.
So, like, where did they go?
Boravio is the name of the cloning facility.
Yeah, and that's where Luke's hand ends up, right?
No, I lied. Boravio is the one that they take Omega to. I can't find the name of it, but yes, I know. Yes, that's the one where Luke's hand ends up.
That's where Luke's hand ends up.
So, Bad Batch, January 4th. We will be watching it that morning and covering it that day.
Oh, excited.
As we do with all Star Wars shows. So to continue on the Disney release schedule too, Young Jedi Adventures. I believe that's for little kids. So I think that's Kyler.
Like Kyler and Jules could watch it.
Yeah, and Hunter. I think that's well, Hunter watches Clone Wars now.
Fantastic.
Young Jedi Adventures, if I'm not mistaken. Hunter. Okay, dude. I watched. What was the one they just released? The Jedi show with Dooku and Ahsoka.
Oh, the Tales of the Jedi.
So I watched it with Hunter.
Yeah.
This is how like emotional my son is in a good way. The opening episode with Ahsoka where she's a baby, he was so nervous that the mom was going to get killed by the beast.
Oh, he was worried about the Bambi. Yeah.
Yeah, because me and Danielle were like, Ahsoka's fine, Hunter. She grows up. Like, you've seen her in the other stuff. He's like, but her mom and blah, blah, blah. Maybe this is what makes her become a Jedi. And he's like crying. Wow. And I'm like, just keep watching. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. And he was so over the moon when the beast comes out and Ahsoka's riding on. He's like, that's so cool. So he absolutely loved it. And then he watched the episode where with the where she's training and Anakin's like pushing her. And the next day is what I told you. Did I tell you the story of his green belt? So he was going for his green belt. He takes Taekwondo and he had to do a flying jumping sidekick. And he couldn't. You
did tell me about this with breaking.
I'll tell them. So he couldn't break the board. Fast forward, he ended up crying. He was very upset. And they gave him a chance at the end, and he did it perfect, but he didn't break the board. And the whole class started cheering. And then he hit it, and he broke the board. And his last one got his green belt. And then he told me afterwards that he thought of the episode because Ahsoka kept getting up even after she was, getting knocked out. And I was like, Dad, yes, I need to tell Dave Filoni the story when he's on Star Wars and Scotch. So that was a good dad moment. Speaking of, before we continue, Tim, can I show you what my mom got me for Christmas?
Sure. Oh, that is something, Kevin.
Why don't you describe for the audio listeners what my mother got me for Christmas?
Oh, God, that's okay. So Kevin has a little dog, very tiny dog, and he's named him FN2187, or Finn for short.
Yep.
Now imagine this dog cosplaying as FN2187.
Oh well, it is an old stormtrooper.
That's an older. That's a series, whatever, stormtrooper. So he's TK whatever. Holy crap, Kevin! Where are you gonna put that thing?
Either in here or in my gym.
That is wild. Thanks,
I brought that from. I was like, she's like, open it early because you have to show Tim on your show.
How did she do that? Did she just Photoshop his little head?
She found an artist It's signed by Van Woof.
An artist did that? Oh,
So
my
she found an
gosh.
artist who makes them, did it, and then the artist was like, "Your dog is so cute. Can you send me a picture of the dog with the painting?" So yeah, I had to share that with you.
Something, dude.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
So Young Jedi Adventures is it's for little kids. It's Yoda's in it. It's TVY, so it's probably more for Jules and Kyler than it is for Hunter. Star Wars Visions Part 2. Very excited about that. I'll probably like half the episodes, just like I liked with this one.
When?
Obviously, Ahsoka. We knew about that.
When
and
does
then the
Visions
Skeleton
come out?
Crew. And none of these have dates. The only one that has date is Mando, March 1st, and Bad Batch, January 4th. I don't think Skeleton Crew is making it to 2023. I think it's going to get pushed to 24.
Isn't it the Jude Law one?
Yeah, they're still filming.
That one's going to be like a teenager show, right?
It's like the young adult novels. That's the
Oh, yeah, there we go. That.
But hopefully it's better than a young adult
adult
novel. I mean, in spirit.
32.
Yeah, sure, that works.
Oh, come on.
So that's the roadmap for 2023 for Star Wars with Disney Plus. We're getting 6 shows. One is for little kids, and 2 animated. So, I mean, that's a lot. That's almost every other month if you break it out. I could see now why Bad Batch and Mando are overlapping too. Visions won't be episodic though. It'll probably drop all at once. I could see Young Jedi Adventures dropping all at once because that's one of those things they'll want parents to just play on loop for their children.
I don't know, Kevin. They like the Santa Claus series was episodic.
Yeah, but you got to compare that more to like Fancy Nancy and stuff like that than you can to like a live action. Like Monsters Inc. was episodic. I'll say that. The Monsters at Work.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't see why they wouldn't just do it episodic.
Which that show was great, by the way.
You can watch it.
It's really cute. If you're a fan of Monsters Inc., if you're not, then you won't like it. So Mike Wazowski. So that's 2023. I will say this before we move on with Disney. Iger's back, but the Disney.
Kevin, it was so bad behind the scenes. Did you know? At one point, the CFO and Chapek weren't getting along, and so he just stopped inviting her to board meetings.
Yeah, yep. I read about that.
Financial officer was not invited to board meetings. Holy
with your
shit.
CEO and the rest of your C-suite.
Yeah, she just wasn't invited.
She's also the one who took him down.
Yeah, she's the one that actually got Iger to come back.
So Chapek, or I should say Iger and Christine McCarthy, that's the CFO, were basically back channeling to remove him with the board. And the board thought apparently that giving him the 3-year contract extension would instill confidence in him, which would make him do better. And in essence,
world would that work?
I don't know, but it made him do worse.
Sucking really badly. Here, how about you have an extension on your job so you can keep sucking?
To corporate America.
What?
So yeah, that
insane.
There's just a lot of things that we're reading now, but the stock is still dropping. It's essentially in free fall right now, and apparently analysts are saying it's not at its lowest. Which means if you want to buy Disney stock, the next few
Disney stock,
the next few weeks are going to be the play. So a lot of people are also blaming Bob for the Disney Plus losses because it was so undervalued when it first. I mean, my subscription is still $7 until I renew. I think in a few months or next year. I think it's next year. It came out 2 years ago, right?
I think the play for the $5 subscription was extremely aggressive. They needed to onboard users very quickly, and you had to be competitive in a market that was well established already. You were competing against Netflix and Amazon that would already been in service for a lot longer. And so then how do you attract people? The only way you can attract people is making that subscription look attractive. So you make it super cheap. And everybody knows Disney has more money than God, so it would make sense. Oh, of course, Disney's being charitable during the pandemic with a $5 subscription. It made sense. The problem is once the quarantine was over, people nicked the subscriptions and they went outside. And so, but what happened is Chapek didn't want to admit that he was the Netflix guy. He wanted the subscription thing to be successful. So he spoofed the numbers.
And subscription churn on customer churn is worse than it's ever been. They're calling it the golden age of streaming is over, and the pandemic accelerated and ended up decelerating the growth because of being able to do life again.
Same for the streaming video game world. I mean, it correlates completely.
Everyone thought home entertainment was the play, like anything you could do in your house, and that was it. It was permanent. But I mean, Avatar did not meet up to expectations. They were broadcasting or projecting for 179 million. It did 134 million, which is still better than I thought it would do, to be honest.
It has, for it to be in the green, it has to break $1 billion.
Yeah, because James Cameron, it's James Cameron, right?
Yeah. And
James Cameron's insane.
So Cameron was like, he said at some point it'll make all the money back. He's like, once people realize this movie's amazing and they love it, it will make the money back. It's like, this is
He still
insane.
claims the first one's good. I've heard this one's better than the first one. So once it hits Disney Plus, I'll give it a
said
whirl.
that the storyline is as shallow as the first one.
Oh, I didn't see that.
They
No.
just
Well.
so all of the reviews that I've seen so far in Avatar is that it's visually stunning, which is to be expected. The first one was visually stunning because it was going outside the realms of what we were used to. They introduced a level of 3D cinematography that hadn't been seen before because it was immersive. It wasn't like the comedic jump out at your face that everybody was doing. This was using like depth, like it was using particles and whatnot in depth to really make you feel like you were in the movie. And so like I'm sure it does the exact same thing, but you've seen this story 100 times over. It was Fern Gully, Dancing with the Wolves, Pocahontas. Like it was nothing new. And so there's not a lot to build off of. So I'm sure that's why the story feels shallow.
And his cut for the third movie is at 9 hours right now, by the way.
Yeah, he said he wants to break it up into pieces for episodically.
I would say when it comes to intellectual properties, Avatar is the worst investment Disney has ever made.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It feels out of place. Please just make it Kashyyyk at Animal Kingdom and let's call it a day. So anyway, what I was saying is all home entertainment was overvalued, and now it is. People are going back to the movies. That was my point with Avatar. People are going outside. They're going to football games again. We're doing all the GCX. Like we're back. We literally have sold as many tickets as we sold in 2018 for the 2019 event. So we're literally back to where we were as a society. The problem is now you've fractured people that do want to continue doing home entertainment, like me and Tim. We don't want to go to the movies unless because Tim rented out the movie theater when we saw Multiverse of Madness, and that's literally the only way I will go to a movie right now. That's it. It was us and some friends, and that was it. And that's the only way I'll do it. I'm not going to a movie theater stacked with people. I will go to Cine Bistro where I have my own space with food and stuff like that. I'm separated, but I don't want to sit next to, like you said, when you went to go see Batman.
Yeah.
Huge men coughing all over your wife. So,
gross.
yeah. So I think Disney is in a bad spot. Apparently, Josh DeMero, who runs all the parks, who everyone was blaming for all the park problems, was going to quit if Chapek wasn't removed, and he's been running the parks since the Iger era. Yeah. Which means he wasn't happy with the park decisions that were being made too. So Iger has his work cut out for him. This is not going to be an easy transition. They're not going to fix it in 6 months. And I will tell you this, as someone who just went to Universal over the weekend, if it didn't cross my mind to get an annual pass while I was there, I will say this, I will at least split my time between the two parks going forward, especially when Epic Universe opens, especially. Because Universal, their hotel experience was not as immersive as Disney's, but it was a nice hotel. Their food is better than Disney's on a large scale.
Really?
The choices you have, my stomach did not hurt from all the preservatives and shit that Disney puts in their food. And then just in general, I like Universal's rides better than I like Disney's.
Because they're targeted for adults.
Right. But even Hunter left saying, I like this better than Disney. Jules was the only one that was really bored. Outside of Sue's Land, there wasn't much for her.
Yeah.
And the Minions. So Disney's got their work cut out for them. And I think Universal's going to steal some massive market share from them with Epic Universe. And then they also have Super Nintendo World opening in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So It's going to be interesting. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to pay a few bills, and Tim and I will be right back to talk about a few more things. And we're back. So, did you ever play Dark Forces, Tim? The old PC game?
Yes.
It got a 4K fan overhaul.
Shut up.
So when are you streaming it? Let me read this to you.
No way, Kevin. Holy shit.
And thanks to Force Engine, a fan project 3 years in the making, we've gotten an entire rewrite of the original Jedi engine with support, you ready, for ultra wide and 4K.
Oh. I'm pulling up the video right now. I remember
Dark Forces
as the demo of this game. Holy crap.
Yeah, it came on a disc. Yeah, it was
a PC Gamer magazine demo.
Yes.
So that was the only way. So, okay. So my parents were so broke. That's the only way that I could play video games was demo discs.
Oh, I did demo discs for years.
Oh my God.
There's this underwater game that I have not been able to find that I had on a demo disc that I played the first level till the disc scratched. Dark Forces also adds a whole of modern conveniences, including full mouse look, an aiming reticle, and a new save system.
So this is just a mod?
Essentially, yes.
That's crazy. I'm pulling it up right now. Yes.
This might be worth a run through.
This is from IGN. The Force Engine. Oh yeah, here's the fucking link right here. Wow, that's so cool. I love that people are able to do this stuff. Wow. It was just like a Doom mod.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, wow. I haven't seen this in forever.
And Dark Forces, in my opinion, is one of the best Star Wars games of all time. IGN put it at number 9 in their top 10 of all time. I think it's one of the best Star Wars games of all time. It's a classic.
That's so cool. I love that people are trying to like preserve stuff like that and make it more like up to date. Really like that kind of like this movement of like bringing the old up into the new.
Yeah, I mean, someone made a fully playable version of Knights of the Old Republic using the Morrowind engine as a mod.
What? That's so cool.
So you can play first-person KOTOR as if like on the Morrowind engine.
What?
Yep.
And it's 1-for-1?
1-for-1. They changed some of the like dialogue and stuff because they had the way the game works, but
that is so cool. I didn't know that was. Oh, what?
Yeah. Just read about that last week. There's a team. I know they've been hit with some copyright issues. Paul, you might be able to look this up. They're using I think it's Skyrim engine to make Middle Earth, and then they want to make a functional game once Middle Earth is done, like a full RPG.
Yeah,
they were doing it with Westeros. They were doing it with Westeros, but I think they got slapped with copyright issues. Which, like, come on.
I don't understand that. That's marketing.
I don't either.
That's a passion project for your fans because they love your IP so much. Like, why? It's not like they're making money off of it. As long like that should be free creative license at that point. As long as the person isn't making money off the IP, I totally understand that. But if it's in celebration and in adoration of the IP, all you're doing is just hurting yourself. Like it just makes you look like the bad guy.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, Bethesda's hit with a copyright strike in February of this year. Thank you, Paul.
The Total War mod, which is pretty sick.
The Total War Game of Thrones one I have, and it's awesome. It's amazing. If you like Total War games, if you don't, you'll hate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and it's got like obscure houses, and it's just fun as hell. The issue is Bethesda is fine with it. They don't care. Todd Howard has come out and said, mod away. I could care less.
Yeah, because that's what their game thrives off of is mods.
Right. And even Xbox went the extra mile with Bethesda to be able to allow mods on the Xbox platform. For some of you, I don't know. That's like whatever. For like people that are super nerdy like us, you don't understand how big of a deal that is for Xbox and Bethesda to allow that.
For people to do that on the consoles before, they had to essentially jailbreak their consoles to be able to load those files in there, and it was a hassle. So now you make it first party.
Project Green, is that what it's called? Something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a whole like mod database essentially for Xbox games that have permission to do it. So yeah, I hope we get more of this in the future. I remember there was a coder, folks that were remaking the entire game in Unreal, and I think they got nailed with copyright too.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah, and the demo was like insane. I could not believe what I was seeing, but I think they did that because they're re-releasing it. The remake
as well. Again,
so
knowing that there's like a Sky, now I want to look into the Skyrim mod. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, there's some really cool middle. There's also a group of folks who are almost done. Actually, they've been making it for the past decade, making all of Middle Earth in Minecraft.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and they've been working on it for a decade.
Wild.
Fucking decade. Go look when you get a chance. Look at it. If you see Minas Tirith in Minecraft, it is insane. So yeah. So if you don't want to play it on your stream, maybe in the new year, you and me could sit down in the couch room and do a little 4K Dark Forces.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
Book it, Paul. Daphne Keane is going to be filming for the Acolyte through April of this year. Daphne Keane was announced a few weeks ago as one of the major characters in the Acolyte. The running theory is that she is the Acolyte, and she is the one that's going to be running around, looking for Sith artifacts and stuff. My one hope for this show is we go to Korriban. I need live action Korriban, and there's never been a better time to present us live action Korriban.
She's a British Spanish actress.
She's been in a lot of stuff.
She made her debut starring as Anna Cruz Oliver on the television series The Refugees from 2014 to 2015. I've never heard of her. So now
she's in
her bio.
She's in. I watched actually the new season just came out. His Dark Materials. It's
She is in His Dark Materials. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Golden Compass trilogy show, done way better than that horrendous Golden Compass movie. Yeah, she's the main character in that, or one of the two.
She's young too.
Yeah, I have a feeling she's going to be a Padawan.
She's 17.
Who's off discovering terrible things. That's how it starts. It's a gateway, Tim.
That's interesting, though. So yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. So yeah, she's supposed to be a Padawan. So 17 feels about right for that. Interesting. We have a very young protagonist. I like that.
Fear is the path to the dark side, Tim. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And before you know it, you're running around the galaxy looking for Sith artifacts.
Yeah.
The youth today, I tell you.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, there were no Sith.
Respected the Force. They knew what the Force cost. They didn't just ask for the Force; they worked for it. Sorry,
is that Menchiota? Is that his Hanukkah speech?
What?
Happy Hanukkah, my Jewish friends, by the way.
Yeah, Hanukkah.
I was streaming Flight Simulator yesterday. I was doing my old shtick with my fake co-pilot and stuff.
Yeah.
And we said something about Hanukkah, and one of the people in my chat was like, "Oh my God, I'm a terrible Jew. I forgot it started."
The world's kind of crazy right now. I feel like maybe forgetting a holiday just might happen.
So, but yeah. So, like I said, Tim and I will not be around next week, but you will get content from when Tim recorded the Andor Roundtable.
That was fun.
You seem like you had a good time.
I learned that I enjoy being on a panel, not hosting a panel, though.
Ah, I see. I see.
I think it's the driving the conversation and trying to make sure like things are going at a good pace, because I just want to talk. And so I get wrapped up in the conversation too. It's the streamer in me, Kevin. I think that's my problem.
Ah, all right. I got you.
I get lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce?
Get lost in the sauce. Anyways, it was really fun. I had a great time. We had some really good conversations. I think it was just a little insight. Everyone really, really likes the show. So it was like nothing but like positive.
Got nominated for awards. Paul and I talked about it last week. Got nominated for some awards, and It's Rotten Tomatoes rating is through the roof for
It's an
viewer
amazing
score.
drama. Like it's an action drama. It's great. I can't wait for next season. And I really hope that I hope that that's where the bar is now, going with live action Star Wars, because like they really have set themselves up for success if they, at least in my opinion. I know everyone has a different fit like lens when we're looking at these shows. I know like Mando like has a certain thing, like Mando and Book of Boba were very, very similar. I really hope that Ahsoka is going to be more like Andor. I really hope that it's shot in a dark lens. I feel like Ahsoka's path right now is very dark. And so I really hope like that's the lens that we get to see her through. And I kind of got that vibe from like the leaked trailer that we get from Star Wars Celebration. Like it looked more in that what's the cut format. Whereas like I think Mando is more of like a widescreen format or full screen format. And so like Andor was shot in that more tight shot. So I'm hoping that's what we get.
I think Ahsoka's journey too in Tales of the Jedi was interesting because, you know, we saw her as a baby, which was cool and fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, they expanded on what you and I knew from the High Republic books, that, you know, it's a matriarchal society, and the women are just badass. And then the last two episodes really drove it home of her journey, like you're talking about. And I like that they're showcasing her strength in the Force.
Yeah.
She took that Inquisitor down like he was nothing to her, nothing.
Because Anakin pushed her constantly.
Right, which is the previous episode. So, you know, which the end of that episode is heartbreaking if you've seen the end of Clone Wars. Oh my God. When it switched to her and Rex walking out.
Yeah.
I was like, it hit me in the chest. I was like,
yeah,
I know what's going to happen here. And it sucks.
That's the whole thing. Like that's been Ahsoka's journey from the beginning. It's just like, it's nothing but like heartbreak for her. And so like, that's why I feel like we're going to see more of that. As we go on this hunt for Thrawn or finding Ezra or like whatever it's going to be. But at the same time, it's like, I think this show might end up being like Andor, where it's like Ahsoka, Ahsoka's there, but we have all these other like big characters that are going to show up, right? Like it's going to be like the Rebels reunited. It's going to like, we know Sabine's going to be there. We know they're going to be hunting for Thrawn or trying to find Ezra and or both, you know. It's going to be really, really interesting. We know Chopper's going to be there.
It got us to the moment where Ahsoka says, "I'm a friend of the family" in Book of Boba Fett, which was such a poignant, and that's just stuck with me because I got that one. That line got me hard.
Shed a couple tears with that.
Same because of the journey. You know the journey, and they keep filling in gaps on how crazy the journey's been. I saw something the other day, and it was a critique. It was like a funny critique of DC, and it was like Zack Snyder ruined DC. Fuck Zack Snyder for trying to make some of our favorite superheroes relatable, because all DC apparently and Warner Brothers wanted was to make them shellless versions of these, you know, I can do anything, nothing harms me, I don't go through emotional trauma. Meanwhile, Marvel was taking us on a 10-year journey of the emotional trauma that superheroes can go through. And and Zack Snyder tried to do the same thing in his way in the DC universe, and Warner Brothers cockblocked it. So going from that and then looking at Star Wars, that is what Star Wars is doing. They're starting to make the characters more relatable than they've ever been. Yep. Andor was Mando was the first step in my opinion. And then all the content we've seen subsequently has done the same thing. It changed our view on Boba Fett. Look at the Bad Batch and how you felt. How many times do they keep making us relive the trauma of Order 66? Yeah. You know, things like that. And now here we are with Ahsoka. And I think you're right. I think we are going to experience her pain in a very real way, probably more so than we ever have with the spotlight solely on her.
Especially if they're going to be doing like flashbacks and shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when I saw that, I was like,
is totally showing back up for that show.
Yeah, no. Well, the rumor is she's going to.
Homeboy's either going to be Vader in certain parts.
I think both.
He's going to be younger Anakin, like what we saw with Obi-Wan and Anakin when they were doing their like vision, like fighting. And then I think he'll show up as a Force Ghost. I think we're going to see Hayden Christensen in 3 different forms throughout that show. And I would say the possibility of him showing up as a Force Ghost is super high, extremely high.
I would say we'll probably see him in all 3 forms, in my opinion. There's a rumor that he's going to fight her as Vader. So no one knows if it's going to be a flashback to the Malachor fight or if it'll be a new one. And then obviously Clone Wars.
If they do the Malachor fight, then that means we get to see the veil, because that's when Ezra rips her through. Because when the thing falls, because that's
Star Wars multiverse. Here we come. Star Wars multiverse. Here we come,
dude.
I mean, it's the best way to storytell, because then you can storytell forever. You don't have to constantly pay attention to one timeline. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Star Wars and Scotch. Like I said, Tim and I are off next week, but you will still get content with the Andor Roundtable. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on audio. So wherever you consume the content, go there. Andor Roundtable will be up same time next Wednesday for that episode. Make sure you go hang out with Tim. He's going to be live through this holiday season. fb.gg/darkness429 and darkness429 everywhere on the internet. So if you're sitting at home next week and you got nothing to do and you've never tuned in, I highly recommend you go to fb.gg/darkness429 and say, "Hi, Tim, I'm from Star Wars and Scotch," and he will welcome you with open arms. I can't speak for the rest of his community. They're a little wacky and crazy, but I love them and I hang out with them all the time. I'm going to catch flack for that one. Make sure you're following Star Wars and Scotch everywhere on the internet, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, we're there. And make sure you're following me. I'm Kevin X Vision on Twitter, KMagic101 on Instagram. We want to wish you the happiest of holidays, no matter what you're celebrating over the next few weeks. We really want you to relax, and enjoy. That was last month, Tim. And enjoy.
Oh. No, that's not true, because okay, so hold on, my mom. So my mom, you know those really nice Star Wars books you can get from Target?
Yeah.
My mom got Kyler the Life Day Christmas Star Wars book, and my mom thought it'd be really cute. And I go through it. It's for an adult. It's for an adult. And I'm like, I showed this to Kyler. I was like, Kyler, do you want this? He's like, no,
too many words.
Now it's mine. But yeah, she thought it was like Christmas Star Wars stories. I was like, Mom, it is. It's just. Life Day is for Christmas, but it's just not for Kyler.
Well, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy Life Day, Happy New Year, happy Kwanzaa, whatever you're into. I hope your holidays are fantastic. I hope you relax. I hope you get some peace over the next few weeks. Tim and I will see you January 4th, Bad Batch. We are very excited. Enjoy the holidays. And Tim, last one of the year.
May the Force be with you.